But if I go to the actual insights for it, I'm like, well, what does that translate to? If it's, you know what I mean?
Right.
1,700 plays,
Exactly.
likes, comments, shares. I don't understand that aspect of it.
Yeah. Especially since they've changed what makes the content most important, because it used to be like first, then share, then but now it's like saving, then sharing, then story, then reel, then like, or something like way at the last.
I feel like I don't even want
hierarchy to it.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I want to post pictures no more.
It's more effective to post like
Videos.
5 pictures in a video versus just posting the picture,
And it
which
changes
they don't
every
like
week.
either.
It changes every week. People can't keep up with it.
Especially
my
because
job
it's
to
trying
keep
to
up
copy TikTok so hard, and it's not working.
No, because
TikTok's hilarious.
we could talk about that. Yeah, TikTok's trying to do a cheat code. But
Have you seen the stories?
yeah, it's
I
new.
haven't.
That just came out.
Yeah, I saw it like for 1 second, and then my
What,
capability
TikTok
went
has
away.
Stories.
Oh Lord.
When like it's the whole thing is a story. What are they doing?
Yes,
But whatever.
My wife loves TikTok.
TikTok is funny.
You learn a lot on it. I would say that it's good for education.
I'm on TikTok looking at shrimp scampi meals.
Oh, I
and
thought you were gonna say tits and ass.
Nah.
You can.
Nah.
That's an option as
I mean,
well.
I'm a photographer, so that shit is.
well, that's the excuse.
I see that shit. It's
You're
like,
going.
No, that's the creepy excuse that I'm glad y'all aren't like, y'all don't give me that, because my God, we can also talk about that.
what, the creepy photography?
Yes.
Oh man.
Why do I always need to be naked for you to take my picture?
So
For the first time?
So I don't shoot implied nude. I don't shoot boudoir. I don't even shoot swimwear no more.
Because it goes so left.
I mean,
It's so uncomfortable.
there's a million other photographers that would love to shoot you naked.
Look,
I'm not one of them.
I went through many phases. I used to work for Playboy, and
That's fire.
yeah, you should see when my wife found the folder on the desktop.
Shit.
That was a great conversation. It's like, babe, you want me to make money, right? Like,
My
what do you want me to do?
My wife bought my
Not
first
that kind
changing
of-
my first changing booth. My wife bought from Amazon.
Period.
I was doing like a swimwear thing, and it was like a runway though. So they was like, they just get naked and change really fast because they gotta go. And my wife was like, "Oh hell no!" So she's like, "I got something coming for you on Monday from Amazon." And I'm like, "What the fuck is it?" And it's a changing booth.
Yeah.
She's like, "This is for all those naked bitches that think it's cool to just get naked in front of you." I'm like, it's a great
get her
gift though.
side.
It's a great gift.
I also
though,
get the
man.
model side.
It looks professional when I pop up.
It is very nice to have, like,
I have one
majority
right
of photographers
have a
do not
pop-up
have that, or even
Yeah.
think of their models in such a way.
Yeah. I have a pop-up tent because of my wife.
Yeah.
Like she helps.
Shout out to the women,
Yo,
because
happy wife, happy life.
Yo.
It's facts.
My wife's Puerto Rican, bro. I don't play around.
My wife's Puerto Rican too.
I love you, babe.
Yeah, I love you too.
don't be
Christine.
fucking with people.
My wife a nutbag though. She's crazy.
Why do you think I say she's Puerto Rican?
Yeah, she's I will definitely be getting cheesesteaks on the way home because
Right.
Because you know better.
that's
It
a
smells
fact.
so good.
That's a fact.
So thank you for walking us through that blue check.
Yeah, it's just
The blue check supremacy.
I feel like we're amongst a famous person.
We are. What an honor
What an honor.
don't
to
do
be at the
that.
table with you.
Right?
Don't do that.
One day I'll walk you through why my name is Famous Angel.
Don't.
It messes with people so much.
Really?
Yeah, they judge me right away, but there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
wanna
I
know.
seen your page before we knew each other from.
probably Sons of Creativity. I had a group out.
Okay.
I've been around for a little bit,
Period.
Just the name, Famous Angel. I feel like I seen that come
Yeah.
across my time.
and I got that face too. You ever been to a networking event and
Face
people be like,
card,
"I know
never.
you"?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm like, you don't know me.
the thing is, I don't because I never used to post my face on social media for the photography space. So if you look at my Da Vinci page, it's rarely pictures of me. So when I introduce myself, they like, "Oh, I always follow your stuff."
Yeah, they connect the dots right when they get you.
When they meet me.
Tell me, was that what happened at that real estate networking event you went to?
So the real estate networking event, that was the weirdest. I don't know if everybody was already drunk and I was like the first black guy they seen when I came through, But
Could've
it was
been.
just like when I go to these rooms, I always just I don't know what kind of magnets I have on me that just people
Juice.
I don't come in fancy. I leave my jewelry at home. I'm very dainty with the jewelry when I'm in those settings because I'm around other people with money. So they don't care about how big your chain is because they probably got a nice Rolex with no stones. Very nice. Classy, right? So I don't go in there with that. So I just try to, I feel like I be trying to dumb myself down basic and I still just, they just come. I don't know what that is.
I think it's probably your presence, like how you carry yourself. A lot of communication is like 80% nonverbal. People don't really understand that.
That's facts.
You know, just how you move.
But what did I do? I just walked in.
Even just walking.
Your walk, fire.
Yeah, heads up, eye contact.
You should probably teach a class.
Yeah.
I'm walking into a room.
You think it's because I'm black?
It might be also because you black.
And they don't see that? No, real shit.
It could be.
It is. Well, okay, so here's my
Tell me about
here's my philosophy.
Like I'm
With
like
folks
the
that
unicorn.
lack melanin when they see folks of melanin.
Yeah.
Quite often, folks of melanin are just doing regular ass shit, walking.
That's right.
And it is the most mind-blowing shit that people have ever seen because they're like, I've never seen a black man walk such as you. Oh my God.
Maybe that's what it is. I never
might
thought
be.
of it.
It very much could
I've never
be.
thought about it that way as Dominican. Like when I see another Dominican,
Yeah.
we're always like, we go into this weird. Que lo que, loco?
Oh shit!
You know?
Like battle of the Dominicans.
People
in
think
the
that
room?
you're Dominican sometimes or no?
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
People think I'm Cuban.
I used to always be at the Latin festivals for the food.
Like
That's
I
why I'm just there for the food. No, I'm not there for nothing else. I'm just gonna eat all day in a circle, all day, and everybody thinks I'm Dominican. Every time for years since I've been doing this since I was like 16, because all the fly girls used to go to the festival.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna go shopping. Like this is gonna be the best of the best here.
I want to be where the girls at.
And that was it. And everybody always thought I was Dominican. I just let them run with it. Cool. Yeah, sure. I know a couple words.
Until they talk Spanish to you.
Yeah. But see, I've been around that so long that I just always understood it.
Oh, so you can understand Spanish?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been in the construction industry.
Oh, so
I've
been around it for a long time.
Cubans, Colombians, Nicaraguans, Honduras, like for years. So
You got a nice little mix of understanding.
I do.
I love it.
That's fine.
But the one thing I do understand is food.
Honestly, that's most important. Food
That's what
changes
my mom
everything.
said. She said,
Bring snacks.
I don't care where you go in the world. If you don't know how to use the bathroom and order your food, don't go.
That's some top tier advice,
Because
to be honest.
starve and die.
Don't go. You're going to be starving and got to use the bathroom somewhere. So
I love it.
shout out to my mom.
So you've traveled a lot. I would say like we all have kind of an experience of traveling. I've been through South America. I think my craziest trip has been Japan.
That's
That was
on my list.
That was wild. I can't wait. When they open the border again, I'm buying a ticket.
That's my list.
It was so awesome. But I feel like when we run across like all those different types of people, right? When we come back to Miami, we can see the difference of what kind of
Do you feel like as
like
Americans we're
vibe.
ignorant
As fuck.
when you go to
What?
other countries?
As fuck.
I feel like other people think that we are, because when I went to Japan, it was just like people didn't think that I spoke Japanese, but I've been studying for like years, like 10 years, trying to figure it out.
Can you please just say something really quickly? Because this is cool. Sorry.
It's fine. I can do the typical like hajimemashite and jiru desu. Like, hi, how you doing? Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. So like, I'm just telling you, hey, what's
It's
up?
all smooth when he said
He
it, though, 'cause
was,
when
I
they
was
say it, it
saying.
sound like they hollering.
Or
They do.
no,
I mean,
or-
that's anime too. So like,
yeah, that too. There's very.
I'm talking about when I
very
order my hibachi
exaggerated.
shrimp. They're yelling.
Half
Like I'll
of
be
those-
like, let me get hibachi shrimp with the hibachi steak. And they say something to the back so loud and long.
it's
that
got to
I'm
get
like,
to the bag.
half of the time you're listening to Thai, because
You think so?
yeah,
So I'm like, is shrimp that long of a word? Like I'm like, yo, let me get the hibachi shrimp fried rice. Now
that's Mandarin.
I'm just like,
You all over the place.
You fucked up. That's all Mandarin right there.
and it's that long?
Yeah, Mandarin.
For shrimp?
Yo, Mandarin, my name in Mandarin, you could either say my name or you could say a curse word. It depends on your intonation. Like, it's hard. Like, the reason I picked Japanese is because it's kind of close to Spanish.
Interesting. I've never heard that comparison.
Yeah, it's kind of close. The vowels and stuff like that.
Interesting.
We could do a whole kind of session on it.
So Japan's the best place you've been to. Where the best place you've been? Yeah.
Probably Greece. That was really, really fun. We
That's
went
on my list,
with like a super duper big group of folks. We caught like this crazy ass flight deal, and then my friend told her friend, who told another friends, who told everybody else, and it was like maybe 150 of us deep. And we planned all the houses, we planned all the excursions. We were fucked up. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Sounds well planned, and it sounds like you probably had a blast.
Indeed.
Ireland's my favorite place.
Really?
Oh, I've been dying to go.
You was
I love black and tans.
That is just a special
Is
place.
that a drink?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a special place. Ireland has my heart, bro.
What about it? Like, really got you?
When I come back and say like how ignorant we are here in America, like they're the complete opposite of
people.
They so proud to be Irish. They so proud to show you Ireland when you go there.
Like come check out our
like
place.
everybody that lives there and you're not from there is a tour guide. Like it's like they so proud of Ireland, and I'm just like, and the country is beautiful. The food is amazing. There's no crime. Like it's the weirdest. I'm talking to my cab driver. I'm like, yo, I've been here for a week. I haven't seen one police officer.
Now what?
He said, well, we had to shut down 36 police stations because there just was no crime.
That's wild.
And I'm like,
It's crazy.
so
That's
what do the
fucking
cops do here? He said, you know, they're like tour guides. You know, you need to go to the information center.
They'll take you there.
That's what the cops is doing in Ireland.
Nice.
So I'm like, I don't believe it. So
I
I
be
go to
hating this
my,
country.
I go back to my Airbnb and I'm like, babe, put the news on. Let's see if it's something going on
Right.
in Ireland. No crime, no.
The flowers are just in
sheep
bloom.
got out of the farm.
Right, like somebody left the gate open.
I'm just like, what the? That's Ireland, bro. And I think it's, so when I get there, everybody starts drinking at 10.
Oh,
AM?
That's like normal.
Yeah.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
A Guinness.
The bar is open. At 10 a.m. So I'm talking to a guy because I'm trying to do what the locals do. I'm there at 10 a.m. bright and early with some eggs. I'm like, let me get breakfast and a Guinness. And he's like, so the guy's like, yeah, man, I'll be back at 12 for my lunch break. I'm like, oh, you just start here and then go to work and then come back.
Come back
for
on a
the
break.
They get a 2-hour lunch.
Nice.
Period.
So they get a lunch for eating 1 hour and then they get
rest.
1 hour for rest. I'm like,
That's wild.
fuck? We got it all fucked up.
Bruh, that's how Spain was too.
Oh, I love Spain.
I went to Barcelona and Madrid. My gosh. My gosh.
Swear to good
Food alone. Like, obviously. Architecture, obviously. But just, like, the ease of everything. Like, people rushing in a sense, I guess, but not so much that you're, like, bulldozing people over.
Like New
and,
York
like,
City,
doing
right?
crazy ass shit like fucking New York. Even Miami sometimes, because y'all cannot fucking drive. And I will talk about that forever. Because, my God, you know what?
That's a fact.
Different episode. Anyways, yes,
We could
Spain was a good time.
We could definitely go on that for a while.
Worst place you ever been though,
Worst?
out of the country.
Out of the country, worst place.
Can I start?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Australia.
Well, that sounds scary.
I've been dying to go there, but my wife hates the spiders.
Hello.
I hate the food. And I mean,
Food?
oh, it's awful.
Aussie food?
What? I mean, like, what is it? Like steak?
And then I go to Spain right after Australia, so I have something to compare it to, right? So I lost 10 pounds in Australia, and I gained it back in Spain. Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, dealing with siestas and stuff, like, that's a whole nother
It just
ballgame.
was, you know, when you go to these countries, you want to do what the locals do. You want to try kangaroo and crocodile, and
That's what
Crocodile's
fucked you up, probably.
good.
and I'm just like,
I've had good crocodile in NOLA.
oh, does anything taste bad in New Orleans?
I
Hey,
didn't taste anything
it's
bad
on
in
the
New
water.
Orleans.
It's all in the water. Funny story, like when my wife and I were going out, like I tricked her into eating gator nuggets.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, my wife.
And that
That's
was
how I
like
got you.
how we met. Like the first date,
Wow.
I took her to like a tapas bar,
Yeah.
and then I order a bunch of tapas, and she's eating it, and she finishes it. Right, we finish the dinner, and I tell her, "Hey, like, did you like the nuggets?" And she's like, "I love them. They're delicious." It's Gator. Do you like me now?
Are we still cool?
Wow.
Date number 2.
Every date after that was Olive Garden.
Damn. So she got.
Until we got tired of Olive Garden.
Oh my gosh.
That is so funny.
I'm telling you, I'm a wild child.
At least it works. When it works, it works.
It worked out. We're opposites, so that's fun. But when you go to these places, right, you get to experience like humanity at a different level.
Right.
And I don't want to say like Miami people suck, but
They do.
there's just a lot of people that you meet that just are not nice. How does that translate to the photography industry here, like the photographers in Miami?
The thing that I learned about Miami people, when I got into the photography space, I was just anxious to shoot. So I didn't know what to charge people. I didn't know how to reach out and collab with people.
How do you even get a model?
Right. That was my first bad experience. So I reached out, and I'm naive, bro. I went for like the top people right away.
Like the best model.
The best model with 1 million followers,
Like who's Barry?
verified, Playboy this, internationally published, Miss Canada. I went right for the top. Like, hey, man, I'm a photographer looking to shoot. You get free images out of it. Like, so naive. Like, nobody responded to me.
What's that called again? That you doing work for? There's a verb.
TFP.
Yeah, like for
Time for
trade.
prints.
Time for
Okay.
prints.
Yeah. So TFP work, right? Nobody reached out back.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, maybe I started off too high. Let me go maybe like 20,000 followers. Nobody reached back. I'm like, all right, let me go bottle service girls.
The ones that don't know how to pose.
Yeah, let me
don't
go.
know anything.
Let me
This
go.
is the
Let me just try it.
Let me start bottle service girls.
Start from the bottom.
Realtor by day, bottle service at night, right? Let me. And then I started getting some bites.
Okay.
And then I'm like, all right. So then I was just like, you know what? Whatever. So then I started shooting my wife.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I got a muse that I can come up with all of these different concepts. I used her for a while, and then I started getting booked. But I wasn't getting booked for the stuff I wanted to shoot. I was getting booked. I shot this girl. Shout out to Leslie. I always tell her she made Da Vinci. Leslie Calzada was Miss Teen Mexico City, or Mexico, or something like that.
Wow.
I did a free photo shoot for her. Because I was new. I didn't care. I just wanted. But I didn't know who she was, what she was.
Yeah.
After I shot with her, I must have shot quinces for like a year straight, bro. They spend money.
and do.
Those is like weddings, bro. So
Yeah.
I was getting booked.
Mini weddings.
Yeah. So I was getting booked for the quince shoot to have the picture at the quinceañera.
Yep.
And then I was shooting the quinceañera.
Oh, you was getting.
Yeah, he was doing the double. He
And
was
then
doing the
they was-
event and the
Right,
The
the,
lead
shoot,
up.
the shoot, and then I was, you gonna stay extra.
Yeah.
they gonna pay for the extra
And they
because
gonna
they got to
feed
keep
you.
the party going. So they
There's
like,
always good food at those.
and I must have did quinces for a year straight every weekend, just from having a shoot with this one girl.
Damn.
So to this day, I will never charge her for a photo shoot. Still, shout out to Leslie Calzada.
Shout out to her.
She's dope. Still, we haven't shot in probably a couple years, but
Trying to run it back.
She
Right? It was important to have that muse, I guess, during that time.
It was. It really got me. It got my reps in.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like I was always shooting at great locations because they had like really nice dresses or whatever the scene. So I was always at good locations. But once you did one or two of them, I became the quince guy.
Exactly.
And everybody was like referring you and stuff, word of mouth.
Yeah. So
The
I was doing
referrals are
quinces
amazing.
for like probably 2 years straight, bro.
And you feel like you got a lot of like on the job experience doing that.
Wow. Because every scene was different. Like they were always in great locations, but I had never shot in studios ever for quinces. They was always at just nice places.
Yeah.
Spanish monastery, big churches and stuff like that. It was always a nice setting. But I was always a natural light shooter. I didn't start shooting in the studio till like 2 years ago.
I feel like that's the story for so many photographers.
Yeah.
Like they're not that they're scared, but maybe they don't have the opportunity to get into a studio.
I'm scared.
You're
I
scared?
don't like studio shooting.
Tell me
It
about
just feels like it feels inauthentic. Like it feels so overly staged where everything has to be so perfect and so perfect and so perfect. When at the end of the day, I'm gonna go and edit this bitch anyways. So I might as well shoot somewhere that I already like the scene where I don't have to like perfectly make sure their hair is like not standing crazy or whatever. I'd rather work with the wind. I'd rather work with the sunlight or whatever.
But you don't think the challenge is in recreating what you can do outside, inside?
I don't like being inside that much.
Okay.
I get bored. Cause
Why I say that is because the models
yeah.
be sweating,
Yeah.
the sun be moving.
There's a lot of variables that you're kind of.
You can't control the environment.
Right. And I like that. I like shooting in that type of environment because it's more of like a dance with the model or with the product or whatever it is. And it's like more interesting to me because it's like, well, you did like that first shot. Well, that was a test shot.
Yeah.
I can edit the test shot now.
Right.
But the sun is different. So it's not going to look like that again. And you're going to have to accept
I
that.
think I liked it until it rained every day at 3.
Oh, shit.
In
Here
Orlando
in South
or
Florida.
here?
Yeah, South Florida. Whatever.
Orlando used to do that all the time.
I'm just like, geez. So I hate the rain aspect of what it did to mine because I was always a natural light shooter.
That's crazy.
So I got to reschedule stuff. I'm like, nah, man, I'm just going.
Yo,
And then
get
when I
inside.
got inside, I fell in love with inside
You're like, this is the shit.
because I was able to simulate anything I can do outside, inside, and can control the environment.
I think you probably were brave enough to kind of experience that. A lot of people are afraid to do it because they don't want to look bad in front of the model. They go into a studio because they don't have formal training. Remember, this is YouTube University.
Facts.
Period.
Shout out to Khalil Dane.
Tell me about it.
Khalil Dane invited me to a lighting
Like
workshop.
Nice.
And from that lighting workshop, I've been booked ever since. Just from the images that I got from that workshop.
Like what you learned in there.
No, what I shot that day.
Oh, like you used it for your portfolio.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this was like my first.
That's a big win right there.
Hell yeah.
So I still, once I shot that and put them up and started getting booked, I was a nervous wreck because Khalil was not going to be there to show
help you.
me.
Yeah, to guide you.
And so I just remember these tips when he was showing me this light. Like when I say I owe a lot to Khalil, shout out to Khalil Dane. I literally went and bought the exact same flash that he had, the beauty dish that he had, the grids that he had, because I needed whatever shot I shot after that to look like what people thought they was going to get.
Yeah.
Now that I know more,
Yeah.
he was just really good with very minimal stuff. Like it's way better stuff out.
Oh yeah.
But he was making great stuff with the basics.
And that's the key right there.
And I'm just
Yeah.
like,
I think that's the key.
but I was
Hell yeah.
I was a nervous wreck. He said, look, this flash only goes to a 160 shutter. That's it. Start there with your shutter, put your f-stop at a 9, play with your
ISO.
ISO, keep that at between 1 and 200, and that's your base. Use that as your base and then adjust accordingly.
It's so easy once you learn those things.
Honestly.
I never shot manual, bro.
And then that was the first time you
That
experienced
was the first time I shot. Because I shot everything aperture priority outside.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't need to know what the shutter speed was.
So many people do that.
I need to
So
know the
many
f-stop.
people.
You want it real blurry? Got you. F1.2. Like,
Period.
So many people do it.
that was it.
I get a lot of people here that come to the studio and they don't know how to use flashes and stuff. And they'll ask for LED,
Oh yeah.
Oh, just steady light.
steady light. I think that's like the new thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Easier.
maybe. Yeah, because the Sony's mirrorless, you're kind of seeing what you're shooting. You know,
Is that cheating?
Yes.
I mean,
I feel like I shoot with Nikon, and everyone as soon as I say that they're like, oh.
I was about to say that. 'cause
like
we seen
icon.
Canon.
Well, y'all are different, anyways,
The
for different
hell is
reasons. But I like Nikons because for me, like, Nikon for me was about clarity. Canon was about color, and then Sony was like everything if you're a rich bitch. But now everybody's a rich bitch, and now they have all the Sonys, and you have to do and it's perfect already because it did all the things for you, which is great, which is cool, and the art is fire. But it's also like all that shit looked the same to me.
When I started shooting, I didn't know whether I was gonna go Canon or Nikon. You know how I ended up in Canon?
Oh.
Their lenses were cheaper. So I knew it was going to either be Nikon
That's
or Canon.
crazy, bro.
But I looked up the Nifty 50 was the first lens I wanted to get.
Yep.
And Canon's was like $100.
Yep.
And Nikon's like 140, 150.
You're like, fuck that.
Then I was like, all right, Nifty 50. And I wanted to get like a adjustable one. Like,
Yeah.
And I looked at Canons and I looked at Nikons and I'm like, fucking what? It's the same damn stuff. Why is Nikon stuff cost more? And then I could always find Canon stuff at Best Buy.
I could always find Nikon.
Best Buy, like, help you out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My mom worked at my high school. It was a thing. But her students always worked at the Best Buy down the street. So it was nice.
I feel like Sony's is cheating, man.
I'll tell you what, I've used pretty much every camera under the sun, and I'll still go back to Canon, and it just has to do with the color profile and just like the life that it gives the photo.
Yeah.
Because I came from film, so like that's the closest I think.
Why I say that is when I go to these meetups with these other photographers, there's like one guy that's heavy in the film. There's a little group of Canon shooters. Maybe one or two Nikon guys.
And me.
Everybody's got a Sony. And if you look at all the Nikon and Canon shooters, they like this. And if you look at all the Sony shooters, their viewfinder still got the plastic on it. Like they've never looked through the viewfinder ever. They just from the screen focusing on the eyeball, and they just.
I'm just like, there's no fun in that. Like,
so
there's
when
no
the guy,
like experience.
So when you in the studio setting, and the guy was like, "Hey, you want to use the flash and hook the trigger up?" He hooks the trigger up. And he's still trying to do it with the viewfinder, but he got to look through the viewfinder to
get it to go off.
to get the flash to go off. And he's like, "Yeah, man, it's not going off. This is why I don't use flash." Because I was like, "Bro, how about you put your eyeball in the goddamn?"
It's different. It's different.
It's different. I think it puts people outside their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like that feels personal for me when I'm looking at the model through the viewfinder. I feel like it's like
my perspective.
Yeah.
You hear me laughing behind the camera when I do that.
Really?
Yeah, like I have a tell when I take pictures. You'll hear the shutter start clicking faster, and you'll just hear me laugh, and then the model's like, "Oh, you like those shots, huh?"
Really?
Yeah.
How important? Talk about that though. How important is it to encourage the model throughout the shoot?
I think it's a make or break it.
I've been to some shoots that were quiet as I'm like,
yeah, it's that. I feel like that's I guess that's what what you get surrounded by as you're learning. If you don't learn to communicate, how can you tell a story?
Exactly.
And I think for me, like I agree with you. Like the whole documenting it feels better because I'm getting to capture a moment that probably won't happen again.
Right.
But when I get into the studio, I get to paint a story as opposed to like capture and document a story.
Gotcha.
So I think
like
I think we could change your mindset for students.
I feel like y'all definitely gonna try.
We're gonna do it.
So
it's
gonna be this whole thing. But to your other point, because I'm frequently on either side of the camera, it's so important to communicate with your model, even if it's so dumb as like, no, I actually meant your left, not your right. Or even when you fuck up, because like as a photographer, I'm looking at you like this and you're looking at me like this. So my left is your right and backwards.
Yeah.
It's okay to laugh at yourself at that fuck up because it's like, oh shit, I still have to be like this one, like the left, and go like this, or talk to them like if you want a certain emotion, like actually talk to them, or like tell them the emotion, but also talk to them about things that bring out that emotion naturally. Yeah. That's been the easiest way for me to get it, because I'm like, you can't just stick anybody up there. You can't fucking stick Coco Chanel, the younger one, in front of the chick. She's gonna tear it down each and every time. But you can still go home with a shoot or with a shot that's not what the shoot was for because you ain't talk to her.
Yeah.
Like you leaving shit on the floor in front of your nice little wall in your nice little studio. Because you don't want to talk to nobody.
I relate to that so much, but it just takes so much energy out of me.
Yeah, that's why I be there.
Like that's why I need someone like you there. I think all photographers can benefit from having someone like you in their shoot.
My wife was, when I first started shooting, my wife was the best person because it was stuff she saw that was women related.
Yeah.
That us as guys, I'm just looking at composition. But I wasn't looking at that we shot the whole shot and you had a goddamn scrunchie on your wrist.
Oh, the whole infamous
scrunchie.
That's the hardest fucking thing to edit.
Goddamn.
Please look for scrunchies.
The fucking scrunchie every time.
So the first time I didn't take my wife to a shoot, she's like, "Oh, I would have been there. Why didn't you tell me?" I was like, "I know you was busy." She was like, "Let me see the pictures." And she was like, "This is why I'm at your shoot." She's got a goddamn scrunchie on the whole shoot. Those pictures are no good. Like,
throw them out.
Throw them out. But I will never shoot nobody with a scrunchie. So like just recently, I shot a girl from where is she from? Austria. And I'm like, "Yo, you know you got that damn scrunchie on, right?"
Right.
She was like, "Oh, but I kind of like it." All right, you the client. You paying for the scrunchie. Just as long as you know I told your ass.
And I'm not editing
and I ain't editing that damn scrunchie out.
The worst thing to do, bro. The worst thing to do.
Damn scrunchie.
So imagine, let me paint a picture for you because it feels like we've all learned, like on the job. We've had technical training, but like the most learning we've done is by doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? You talked about like being a part of that workshop that really changed you and like set you up for success. And that was a good workshop that you experienced. It was. But there's also the flip side of it. And I think that a lot of people tend to feel that workshops are almost all this way. And, you know, maybe not so like eager to go to a workshop. Let's compare like bad to good.
So my guy, Kyle Dindy, shout out to Kyle. He told me when people pay, they pay attention.
Nice.
That's a bar.
Yo,
because they have something to lose at that point.
Exactly.
So it was all around like courses and you know, charging for your knowledge and stuff like that. And he said, "Baron, when people pay, they pay attention." He's like, "That's why I don't offer nothing for free. I don't offer a thing for free because they don't pay attention when it's free."
That's so deep.
I'm like, so when it comes to workshops, I think it's a way to differentiate the real people who really want to learn. When they pay attention. They pay attention.
They got skin in the game at that point.
Yeah.
That's from construction. We don't do no work until 50% is put down, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing. But I think there have been so many poorly executed workshops too that they've set a standard that I'm not gonna get nothing out of this.
Yeah.
That is.
I think they had good intentions.
Right.
We're trying to do something.
Could be, or it could have been a money play.
Everyone's not a teacher. And that's just like the simplest way I can put it. Everybody's not a teacher. You can be as great as at the thing that you do, but if you haven't practiced teaching, if you haven't practiced being humbled by the way that you teach,
right?
then it's like I don't really know how to help you.
That's 100%. I met some dope photographers couldn't teach a lick, because it's comfortable for them.
Right.
Them trying to train or show or teach or have that aspect of people skills.
That ain't for everybody.
It's his own art.
It's not for everybody. Because I've definitely, I've been to a few. So I've been to a couple modeling workshops for sure. They were very mean. Very, very, very mean.
Like judgy or like how?
Okay, so I'll just say the
into
thing.
it,
Just
get
say the
into
thing.
it.
All right. So in Detroit, shout out 313. Every summer there's like this big African World Fest, and in the African World Fest there's always a huge fashion show, and they're like really encouraging the community to just come out, be a part. Everybody's a model. If you want to model, you can model. Like, this is the place. This is the starting ground. Like, if you want to model, you meet people here. You meet coaches there. Like, everything. So you walk in there and it's real cool. On the very first day, everybody's sitting in like this bowl situation, and the leader's down at the front talking, very like classroom style almost. And he's like, I've done this, and this. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about why you even wanted to come here, but you should listen to me. And if you don't listen, you're going to get left behind, and you just won't get picked for a show. Or you won't get picked by a designer for the show. And then you'll just keep coming to all of these practices for nothing. Completely real.
I mean, yeah.
Those are facts of life.
He's just like straight up.
Exactly.
Whatever.
And when I say kids to grannies were there, and I'm like, this is how you talk to everyone. You just talk to everybody like this. Like, fuck their internal dialogue of trying to get here. Fuck whatever the fuck they're trying to prove, or like, personal journeys and all of that shit. It was just that. And I'm like, nah, not to toot my own horn, but like, a bitch done did some shit. Right. So I was really just pulling up to like pull up. Right. So I was
That's the worst when you're like trying to compare like what you've done versus what someone else has done.
Right. And I'm just like, that's great, and I feel for you, but there's an easier and nicer way to be like, hey, y'all, this is like, modeling's hard. Agreed. And you're not always going to like the way you've shown up on camera. And that's a fact. That's just a fact of life. There's an easier way to communicate that than just being mean and say, you need to get over yourself right now. You can say your ego needs to be left at the door.
Yeah.
And not say, hey, that pose is ugly. You can say that pose is ugly in a nicer tone. Or just some type of relationship first before you just going in at people and making people feel bad for the way that they look. When they don't even know what they look like that half the time. They don't know if they're standing awkwardly. Like, they're just standing. This is how they've stood all of their life. And now here you're like, I worked on this magazine, so you need to shut the fuck up and cross your goddamn legs when you stand and talk to me.
I seen a guy at a shoot. I think it was like a workshop. Mm-hmm. I was there for the workshop to help with like set design. Mm-hmm. I was just doing it as like helping a friend. I don't do set design, but I was there and I watched this photographer say to this girl, he was like, look at me. Uh-huh. He put it through the camera. He's like, no, stay straight. Look at me. Your left eye is lazy. It's doing this while I'm trying to shoot. Can you control that? I'm just like...